It's time for Stan the Fan, Chief Grand Poobah Man, and the Friday Baseball Show. Griffin Bass helps bring more class to the Friday Baseball Show. They'll talk best games, Dan Charles is his name on the Friday Baseball Show. He's been in the owner's suite, he's been doing sports talk since 81. He's only lived in Baltimore for 45 years, but we'll give him a break on that hump. They'll acknowledge football, don't expect calls, it's the Friday Baseball Show. It's okay to say Glenn's back on Monday, but this is the Friday Baseball Show. The Friday Baseball Show. The Friday Baseball Show. Duke still sucks.
The Duke still sucks portion is a great way to get Stan the Fan in here, in my opinion.
Hopefully, I don't think Stan's logged on yet, so hopefully, he didn't even hear that part.
Stan the Fan.
Yeah. I'm in the wrong account. That could also be part of it.
I am not Stan the Fan. He is recovering from hip replacement surgery, so I'm filling in for the second straight week for Stan. But he is going to join us momentarily, hopefully, and we'll talk about the Orioles and the deadline and all that good stuff. So we're looking forward.
What else are we doing today?
We are talking to Ben Davis, color man for the Phillies, right? To talk about that series. That's
a big one
this weekend. A big one for both teams. Orioles are 2.5 back in the wild card race. They really need to win a lot of games here to get back in the thick of things. And then we will have Liam Bowen on, the new Towson baseball coach. He was at UMBC, and we'll ask him why he made the leap to Towson. So, how's that sound?
That sounds pretty good.
Cool.
Good program.
I think it's a good program. And you know why it's a really good program?
Why's that?
Because Stan the Fan's here.
Hey.
Stan, how we doing?
Guys, what's up, guys?
Not a whole heck of a lot. How you feeling?
No. Feeling pretty good. Pretty good.
You look good, Stan.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't look that much different, do I?
No, not yet. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see you back on your feet, though.
Wait until I stand up.
Oh,
that's all I can do.
Well, I mean,
how's that? Is that good?
That's not nothing.
Yeah, I'll get there. I'll get there. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Wait a minute. Stan, how much have you been able to watch the Orioles consistently?
Yes, I've been able to watch them consistently.
What did you think of Wednesday's game?
It's a pretty remarkable game, It's amazing that the history of things, that they hadn't done something like that since 2009 and then back in 54. But the night before, they did something they had never done before as an organization since 54, which is give up a run in every inning of the game. So it's kind of interesting how those things kind of cross over.
Right.
But,
at one point, I believe the Orioles had given up 19 consecutive runs to the Tigers, and they actually
21.
21 consecutive runs. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And they actually managed to win one of those games, which is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, that is pretty remarkable.
All right, so the starting pitcher on Wednesday was Trevor Rogers.
Correct.
And that's one of the players that the Orioles have to make a decision on ahead of the deadline because he's a free agent at the end of the year. I was talking to you the other day, Stan, and you said that your position on Trevor has changed a little bit in the past week or so. What do you think?
I still very much want him on the Baltimore Orioles in 2027, but I'm saying provided that Mike Elias can pick up a starting pitcher. And I mentioned Tyler Mahle to you the other day, Luke. We did that Zoom. I'll include Robbie Ray in that. I saw that the Giants are willing to take some of the $8 million. They'll probably pay half of that So you'd get Robbie Ray for $4 million for 2 months. I'd be very interested then in moving Rogers, because I think Rogers could potentially bring you like two really good players.
Right.
Not the return that I saw last night for AJ Minter.
Right.
When the
Two lottery tickets.
Really, that was a trade that was similar to like when we traded Andrew Cashman to the Red
Right.
Sox, for two 19-year-olds.
Right. Okay.
So I'm very open to trading Rogers,
Mm-hmm.
but letting him know on the way out that we hope you and your agent will negotiate with us in good faith, because I think the Orioles would be very foolish not to attempt to reel him in.
So we were talking about this last night. The team 35 miles to the south actually has a very similar situation on their hands with Foster Griffin, who is a free agent at the end of the year. He's been one of the best left-handers in the sport this year.
Yeah.
How is the situation different or similar with Foster Griffin and the Nationals? Because that's another name, much like Trevor Rogers. If you miss out on Skubal and want a left-hand starter, those are the guys you're after, I would imagine.
Well, I think the time to really been aggressive in trying to sign Trevor Rogers would have been last off season. Where you could have possibly got him for $20 to $30 million cheaper than it now will probably cost.
Right.
I wrote a column about it, that I thought that was box number one for me, was extending Trevor Rogers. I was not foolish enough to believe he was going to be exactly what he was last year, in those 18, 19 starts. But I thought, get him signed now, make it a bit of an overpay now, because you're just going to pay more later. And then I didn't bail on the idea that even when his ERA was 6.98, I knew there was a decent pitcher in there. And I think the Orioles will not rue the day, because they still may end up with him, because I honestly do believe that he wants to be here. It's just that once somebody gets out the door, they can find other reasons to like the new city, like Atlanta,
right,
or Chicago, just as much.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I guess we Glenn and I had talked about this with Zach Moore at Pigdown Sports, and he mentioned the same thing, like, lock this guy down. But with the way that Rogers is kind of been talking, at least the way he's been talking to the Banner. Obviously, we saw that article this week when he said he's focused on getting. I mean, he's going to go to free agency. He's not signing an extension. So right. I mean, it's really tough. I mean, it's really tough. Is a comp pick worth? Is it worth getting a compensatory pick if you hold him for the next 2 months here, and the Orioles, I don't know, they end up doing.
I think they can do better and still make an honest attempt to re-sign him, or you never know. Robbie Ray may come here. I'm just throwing his name out there, but he's 34 years old, but he's a dynamic, still a dynamic pitcher. He's not going to go 8-9 innings like he did a couple years ago, but for 5-6 innings, he can really be. And maybe he likes it here and signs a reasonable deal, a 2-year, $40 million deal or something. So,
Stan, what do you think is more likely come 6:01 on Monday night? The Orioles will have made.
I'll bet you're eating a hamburger.
Yeah. So the Orioles will have made some small tweaks in terms of moving out expiring contracts, but basically bringing back everyone for next year and giving it another go, or they really shake up the core and move out one or two core pieces and try to reimagine.
I don't see any chance in hell that they're going to trade Jackson Holiday. I don't quite get where his name. I know he'd be desired by some people.
Jeff Passan on his podcast this week threw it out. He was rattling off. He was talking about Taylor Ward, and then he quickly rattled off that the Orioles have also apparently suggested that Adley, Cowser, and Jackson Holiday are names that they have considered. Yeah. Not, I don't know if I want to say go as far as available, but
listened
yeah.
on.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
I think it's going to be an interesting game of chess over this weekend and into Monday at 6 o'clock. And Ross and I will probably be on Monday at like 6 or something like that. I know you have the Loxley presser. I have a feeling that we're going to get one or two sizable, significant trades. I think there's a real chance if he can pull off what I'm talking about and get an adequate replacement for Trevor Rogers, like Tyler Molly or somebody like that, for a lesser return, that then there's a chance that he moves Rogers. You never know. Could be Rogers and Rutschman in one big deal.
Right.
Wow. That would definitely be a big move.
Yeah, it would be. So, I think there's a chance of that. I don't see the whole core going.
Sure.
I don't think Ward will be here next year. And I don't care what Craig Albernaz says. I don't think Rico Garcia will be here next year. So, I think there's a chance we could have a little bit of significant action.
Yeah. I mean, so they obviously need bullpen help. So is that something like what if they stand pat? Maybe I don't know. Maybe they trade Taylor Ward, but they also bring in a reliever as well.
Buying and selling.
Yeah.
I think they got to bring in a one or two relief pitchers.
I would agree. Yeah.
The whole notion that we're only 2.5 games out. The question isn't can you get into the dance? It's can you get in and and make a surprising run. And the one thing I've noticed in the last 7-8 years of playoff baseball is the playoffs are a different animal when it comes to that bullpen. And with all due respect to Albert Suarez and Anthony Nunez, they're not the arms that you need. And I'm not suggesting the Orioles DFA either one of them, but those guys got to be replaced with better, and they may have to replace Garcia too. I mean, he's become really unreliable.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Rico Garcia.
The home run ball is really.
His last 3 outings, he's given up a whole home run. Basically, the first batter, I think, or first or second batter.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
But then he shuts down after that. I mean, he shuts him down after that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. All right. So where are we stand on Adley Rutschman at this point? Is it too tricky to deal him because we don't know when he's going to come back? I guess this is a big weekend for both he and Basayo trying to figure out when they're going to come back.
I'd have to know in order to trade Rutschman. I feel like you kind of got to know how much longer you'll be without Basayo.
Right.
But I think Rutschman is in play. And if they got over with. And I still always try and think of where he'd be. And I think in a rare trade here, that the Robbie Ray and a relief pitcher for Adley Rutschman makes an awful lot of sense for both sides. If the Orioles could get a bullpen piece that's an uptick over what they have, and you get a starter, either Molly or Robbie Ray.
Give it both. Yeah.
What's that?
But both if we're giving up Adley. Yeah.
How much contract does Robbie Ray have?
I'll even throw in.
Yeah.
I'll throw in one player that I'll take in a heartbeat is a Roz. If somehow I woke up at 6 o'clock and saw that the Orioles picked up Robbie Ray and a Roz,
they would trade for Luis Arraez and still sit him versus lefties.
There you go.
It'd be crazy. I mean, just
touche.
If I were to deal Adley personally, I'd be looking for a starting pitcher with like 4 or 5 years of control left, who I could plug into the rotation. Like I mentioned to Stan on our show a couple days ago, like if Will Smith is going to be out for a while with the Dodgers.
Dalton Rushing had a home run last night, I think.
There you go. You could do something like Rutschman for Emmett Sheehan plus.
Is Emmett Sheehan that?
I was just throwing out his name.
I mean, he's the worst starter in the Dodgers rotation, but is that really that bad?
And he's a very frustrating guy.
But But
I
there's
mean,
an upside. There's
yes,
an upside.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
There's been an upside on him for like 5 years at this point, but he's like he's a pretty frustrating, but he's got big stuff.
I don't think that Rutschman is as attractive as you do, Luke. In other words, I think the injury thing now has
He's real.
really.
He's been on the IL 5 times in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So would it be if Adley is not moved here? Would it still be just as likely you think that we could see an off-season move for?
Yes, I think
Yes.
Rutschman.
Yes.
I don't think Rutschman will be on the team.
I don't
Really?
know if
I think it's very interesting that they did pursue. One of the things I think Mike Elias knows is if he's going to be ballsy enough to trade Rutschman, he's got to have a significant number 2 catcher. And
Right.
it's interesting that the Orioles were in on Logan O'Hoppe. You know, they were interested in.
I agree with Stan that Rutschman will be traded before the start of next year.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think somebody like the guy that hits me is Sean Murphy of Atlanta. You know, like right now you talk about a Trevor Rogers trade. That could make some sense. I think Murphy is due to come off the IL as well. I think he's on a rehab now.
I mean, he's gotten his job taken, but at this point,
yeah,
right?
Drake Baldwin's a great player, you know. But Sean Murphy would be a great guy to catch 80 games in tandem with Messiah. You know.
Aside from the Orioles, Stan, what team are you very intrigued by at this trade deadline? I think I have an answer.
Well,
what about you?
There's so many of them.
There are.
You know, I think that the White Sox are going to be very interesting because I expect them to pick up. They could be a team that would be interested in Trevor Rogers. But I think they're very interested in Detmers. I think they'll be interesting. I think one of the biggest trades that could shock people is Skubal going to the Milwaukee Brewers or the Tampa Bay Rays.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Do you think the Dodgers would allow that? They have to play defense almost. Like getting Skubal for them would almost be more like it'd be more about just not letting him go to Milwaukee.
Right.
You know,
so for me,
the
Dodgers can dunk on any deal that any other team offers.
Yeah.
And
there's no question about it, but I think there is a limit to these huge players that they can sign. You know what I mean?
I don't think there is.
I see there. I used to think that there was like the wrath of Bud Selig, where he would try to keep like the Yankees and Red Sox at bay a little bit. I don't know if a wrath of Rob exists to keep the Dodgers at bay.
Yeah, personally. Well, the salary cap would.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, I guess that's why the owners want a salary cap.
Yeah, but it's going to be. I think every year we tend to say it's going to be really interesting. This year, because of the amount of teams that are still in play, I think it's going to be a very interesting couple days.
Yeah. I mean, like, what are the Twins going to do, and what are the Seattle, Houston?
I think Seattle is going to be
Texas.
a seller. I think Seattle is going to end up sort of edging their bets.
Well, Seattle, for me, has to make some rotation moves because I think they've taken this rotation group as far as it can go. The problem for them is going to be getting value for some of those pitchers because a lot of those guys have the reputation of being a T-Mobile merchant.
Yeah.
and
all of them, I think. Yeah.
All of them. And they need to get Cade Anderson into their major league rotation. He's the best pitching prospect in the minor leagues, and he's still sort of just waiting for an opportunity.
Now, Luke, you mentioned, getting a controllable starting pitcher. I know Rutschman is not going to Seattle,
right?
But boy, I would be interested in Emerson Hancock.
Yeah. So sort of a redo on the 2020 draft.
2 or 3 years ago, I would have been. I remember when it was clear we were getting the number 1 pick that year. I remember Hancock at the end of the whatever season, 19 season or 18 season, and he was going to be the number 1 pick the next year,
right.
And then he dropped to like number 20 or something.
Yeah, it was the 2020 draft. Orioles took Kerstead second. I think
Right.
Hancock went like 9th or 10th or whatever. Sixth.
Sixth.
And yeah, going
He
into
went
that year,
sixth?
He
yeah,
went
He went
sixth.
sixth? I
Go-
could have sworn he dropped the.
yeah, going into that year, he was expected that maybe he could be the number 1 pick coming
Yeah.
out of Georgia, but
He
then
was-
COVID messed everything.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was the
that
second,
draft
he was the
was a
second
mess.
pitcher, the third pitcher. That's why Max Meyer, Asa Lacy went before Hancock.
That draft
So
was
he
a
was
mess.
he was number 6.
Yes, he was sixth overall.
Hancock. Okay, God, I remember him being like 17 or something.
Yeah, I mean, going into next year, it feels like you have 3 starters that you like in Bradish, Young, and Boz. And then
Yeah.
after that, you need some answers. And I would love to come away
Anthony
from
Kramer.
I would love to come away from this deadline with another answer in the rotation.
Yeah.
Long term. That's just
Yeah.
me.
And they'll also be competing with actual contenders, though, right? Like, and that's
Correct.
in theory, I guess.
Correct.
Right? Like, and I mean, who's the most? I guess there could be a guy that we don't know is available, but I mean, I guess you look at Joe Ryan as kind of that guy who we know has at least a little bit of control, but also the Twins are playing good baseball right now.
The Twins are
the Twins are not trading Joe Ryan.
the Twins lead the American League in runs scored, I think.
Do they really?
Yeah.
518 runs, and the White Sox have 516 runs. Wow.
Look at those AL Central teams stand.
Yeah.
The White Sox
How
had
many runs do we have?
The Orioles have 501.
I think the Orioles are 3rd or 4th in the league.
They are behind the Yankees, behind Houston.
Okay, so they're 5th in the American
yeah,
League
fifth.
in runs scored.
Yeah.
So feels like they should be better with the talent they have on hand.
So,
That might
so
be
the
one of the
most
problems.
interesting.
Well, I mean,
still the most interesting player to me is Skubal.
Yep. What's your final prediction on where he lands?
I think the Cubs and
Ooh. like
and
that.
Milwaukee and the Rays get into a real battle.
Ooh.
yeah. And
With the Dodgers lurking.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be boring. The Dodgers are gonna cancel out whatever deal that is. They,
What's the final deal from the Dodgers? Is it like Robleski plus? If they offer
gotta give up
Robleski plus,
I mean, you
like
take that.
they're getting Skubal at that point.
Yeah, they tend though.
I mean, or they
you
could
know,
give up like
the
5 of their
question
top
is-
10 prospects, probably,
And they'll all suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The question is they have
Yeah.
they have 3 starters in Glasnow, Snell, and Otani that we don't know right now what they're going to get.
Right.
So it's not going to surprise me if they pick up a pitcher, but I don't think they feel that they need Skubal for what they're going to have to give up.
Right.
I agree. I think I just think it. I think they don't want to face him in the NLCS. I don't think they want to face him in the World Series.
They don't want to see Kyle
Like,
Tucker at bats against Tariq Skubal.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
Because I mean, if you get Skubal, that's a great way to neutralize Otani in like an NLCS.
I mean,
You know?
in theory, I guess, but I feel like Otani hits everyone. I guess he's had. I mean, it depends how serious I guess these injuries
I
are.
mean,
Like he's been
you
banged
think-
up a lot
yeah,
this
I
season.
mean, you think back to that Philly series last year. The Phillies were able to throw Ranger Suarez, Chris Sanchez, and Jesus Luzardo at him, and they neutralized him.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Otani did not take over
maybe
that
you're right.
series.
Maybe they're not scared at all, and they are confident. But they're the Dodgers. Like they might as well add like they're.
How
gonna
often
add
can you go
another
for 3 in a row?
reliever.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see them in the Trevor Rogers mark.
Yeah. I mean, if they're worried, it seems like Snell and Glass now they're really slow rolling them to make sure that they're.
I
good
would
for
imagine
September
that
and-
a lot of teams right now are focused on Skubal. I bet Skubal gets dealt maybe not well before the deadline, but enough.
Casey
time-
Mize was he was scheduled to start tonight. The Tigers just pulled him as well. So
Really?
yeah.
Casey Mize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks
Yeah.
like they are full sell.
Atlanta and the Cubs are supposedly in on Casey Mize.
Mm, yeah.
But I think once Skubal goes, teams will then pivot to Rogers and Foster Griffin if they want
Yeah.
left-handed starting pitching.
Yeah.
So
And there's interest in Peralta, Reed
So if there's
Detmers,
that
Jose
robust-
Soriano,
Yeah.
you know.
if there's that robust of a market for Rogers, I mean, does it feel like they almost have to
Take advantage of it.
if he's going to be
Maybe.
the number 2 pitcher, number 2 lefty, number 2 starter that's available at this deadline? Like,
Right.
I
mean,
think he's going to go. I really do.
yeah.
Yeah, I've come around to that.
I don't think there's
and
any chance they
player,
re-sign him.
the
either.
only player I remember the Orioles ever letting go in a trade and then re-signing was Mike Borden.
How about Sidney Ponson? No, seriously, that happened. They traded him to the Giants, and I was happy that they traded him.
Trevor Rogers, the next Sidney Ponson.
And then they re-signed him for 3 years. I was like, oh, man. That happened.
Well, they'd have to decide.
But it was the same
Rogers,
situation where they were
5.
desperate for innings, so they brought him back.
He had some bad in that.
I mean,
clubhouse.
something you said, Stan, was like if it's not about the Orioles trying to get in as the 6th wild card. It's about them trying to actually do something.
Do something in the playoffs.
Actually do something in the playoffs. And I mean,
and I still think the biggest need that they have is in that they've got the.
I can't disagree in the bullpen. Yeah,
and they
bullpen.
just have.
Where's Mason Miller going to go, guys?
New York, probably. I don't
Do you think Mason Miller goes?
Yeah, I feel like there's too much. There's too much. Morahone's definitely
too much smoke.
Yeah, I just feel like there's too much.
I think he's going to.
And this is what the Padres do. They shell. They go all
the Padres
in on a guy
weird,
for 1 year.
They're in a weird place.
Yeah,
they have a lot of bad money on the books. That's on the books for a long time, and they have kind of an empty farm at this point. It's not a great place.
They do
to
have
be.
an empty farm right now, and I think he'll view Morjan and Miller as the guys to
refill it.
To refill.
And they're also in the same division as the Dodgers.
They're 1 game over 500. They are 2 games back of the Phillies for the 3rd
Griff,
wild card.
what kind of numbers does Michael King have right now?
I
saw where he has. I saw where he has an opt
out. King this year, 125 innings, and sorry, I thought they were going to show the full stats there.
ERA.
338. Pretty good.
A real solid year.
Yeah, 22 starts.
How about strikeouts to innings pitched?
109 strikeouts in 125 innings. So
he's a ground ball guy.
1.17 WHIP. Yeah.
And what about his
having a really solid year?
What about his walks?
Total
125
innings. 50. So
50. That's not good.
3.6 walks.
And you really want a good infield defense behind him. So maybe the Cubs.
What, you're not saying the Orioles have a good infield defense?
I'm not saying that. As a matter of fact.
What are you saying?
Well, I mean, anyway, I mean, like the point I was trying to make, Stan, was like in theory, if the Orioles were to grab one of these wild card spots, you would think that means that this offense all of a sudden starts performing the way that we thought they would.
And Gunnar starts.
I mean, if you had told us that
better,
the rotation over the past 2 months was going to be one of the best rotations in the league in MLB, and they were still going to be 3 games under 500 at this point, I mean, that would be kind of shocking, just without seeing what the offensive numbers were, because you just would have assumed that this offense would have kept them afloat at some point, and the offense has just been so disappointing. I don't really know. Like, can we at this point, can we still be saying, well, like, what if they get hot?
Yet they've got over 500 runs.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah. That is true.
I mean, but it does. The consistency of the offense has been disappointing.
Stan, my brother wanted me to ask you about Dean Kramer, obviously the one guy in the rotation right now that we're least confident. I mean, he's just not been good. No. What did you make of Tuesday night when he was in the staring contest with Pete Alonso? Did you happen to see that?
I kind of saw the end of it. I didn't get. Maybe you can explain to me what.
I got a video for you.
Yeah. Can you explain, Griffin, what was going on there?
I mean, I don't think it was that big of a deal, but people were.
I guarantee you it wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah, I don't think it was that big of a deal at all. But I think Dean caught Pete off guard with a pickoff attempt here, and I'm trying to share it here so everybody can see. But yeah, I don't think that was big of a deal. Pete just had kind of a weird reaction, like a head shake afterwards.
Right.
Hold on, I want to mute this so that we can hear. So that way we can. Stan can just talk over it. Stan.
He has a little bit of a.
Yeah, I mean he's asking him if he can see, and for some reason, yeah, Pete kind of has a weird. And obviously the other part of this is that Dean turns around and gives up 8 runs immediately after this. So it's like it was just ugly. I mean,
Dean is a very finicky guy. He may not have. Wasn't he pitching to Pozo for the first time?
Right.
Yeah. Dean gets a little jumpy with new catcher. No.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it had the thing with the silo last year.
Little temperamental. But he gives good post game interviews. He stands there and answers the questions. And
the Alonso thing was not my biggest concern from that night.
Yeah.
To me, the biggest concern was that he didn't look healthy. His stuff was rolling to the plate. It was not biting through the zone. And as Ben McDonald mentioned on the broadcast, he looked uncomfortable on the mound. He just did not seem like a healthy pitcher to me.
Well, if they're trading Trevor Rogers, I mean,
someone's got to pitch.
Yeah,
but
like,
Bassett is coming back.
Bassett is coming back. Bassett had a good.
Yeah, it was just a
veteran,
veteran rehab start.
You know, he was
as
pitching.
those
Where was it
Stan,
at?
It was Norfolk.
Stan, why aren't they calling up? I mean, maybe I'm missing something. Why aren't they calling up Creed Williams?
He can't catch.
Yeah, I mean,
they're telling you he can't catch.
I'll give you.
So they'd rather see Sam Huff strike out 4 times.
Apparently, they'd rather
pitches?
see Jake Rogers. Like I've watched a lot of Creed Williams at Aberdeen. He can't catch in the major leagues.
He was catching Bassett the other night. I mean,
that's true.
And
you know what? That's
and,
true.
And hit a home run that night.
And
like,
you know what? The reason they probably had him catch Bassett was that they could ask Bassett, can he catch in the major leagues? And Chris won't lie to him.
Yeah.
Like, he'll tell him. And so if Creed comes up, probably got a good review from Chris Bassett.
Okay. Well, I want Bassett to just lie.
What are
I don't care if he can't catch.
What are Creed's numbers right?
He's having a nice year.
Yeah, he is. I think he's having. I mean, is it his? I guess it's probably not his best year. I don't know. I feel like it might be. He's got 14. I know he's got 14 homers. Oh, he's got 16. He hit another one later this week. Okay. He's got 16 homers.
Luke saw him a lot at Aberdeen.
He's got 14 in AAA. I think that's what.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at.
He's got a good swing.
Yeah.
He's got pop.
And he's got great hair. I mean,
he's got great hair.'s a great kid.
Yeah, he's fun to talk
Luke,
to.
who's the catcher that I saw at Chesapeake?
Ethan Anderson. He's been out for a little while.
Okay.
I don't know what's up with him.
But he was having a good year.
Yes, he was. Then. Yes, he was.
I don't know. Anything we missed with Stan?
I think we just about covered everything, honestly, with Stan.
Power rankings will be out Monday.
Or you want to do that Tuesday after the deadline?
I'm gonna do them Sunday.
Okay.
My book. It's very complicated. My book is set. It's set all the way. You know, every week I have mapped.
It's got to be on Monday.
You can't
disturb,
change it. You can't disturb a master at work.
Okay,
Luke?
All right.
You know, who were your top 5 last week? Where were the Orioles ranked as well?
The Orioles were ranked going into this week. The Orioles were ranked 21st.
Ugh.
But the difference between, say, Arizona at 10 and 22 is probably about 6 games, difference between those 12 teams.
Where did you have the Phillies ranked? They are sputtering.
Were 5th. The Phillies were 5th. They will most likely drop to about, depending upon this weekend.
Right, yeah, of course they have a great
come in
weekend.
here and really tumble the Orioles. They'll probably stay around 5th. The Yankees, it'll be interesting. I know we didn't talk about this, but the Yankees are a fascinating team to watch at this. They don't have a
catcher.
Idea. I don't think they have any idea when they're getting Judge back, and Bellinger sounds like at the shortest is going to be 4 weeks.
By the way,
they do have Cole and Schlittler, and they got Max Fried back. Weathers pitched another good game last night. I don't know. Rodon to me is one of those guys. It's like do you really get excited he's back?
Yeah.
Because it's like 3 weeks later he's not going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, would you rather have Will Warren and Ryan Weathers, I guess, pitching over him? I'm not sure.
By the way, I have a buddy who just chimed in. He says, we don't care that Creed can't catch.
I'm in that camp as well.
There you go.
I'm on that camp. I mean, I can't watch Chadwick Trump have another at-bat.
No.
Is that your scout buddy?
No. This is a really good golfer.
Okay.
Wow.
Good golfer.
He's a really good golfer.
How would you describe your golf game?
Bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He can't teach you anything?
No, he hasn't been able to teach me anything. Can you believe it?
Maybe you're not a willing learner.
That could be it.
Okay.
Griff, how's Luke doing in that host chair?
Terrible. Terrible.
He's been all right. Yeah.
I'm no Stan the fan.
Hey, well, we miss you. We miss you,
teaching him everything you taught.
I'm trying to. We go to break. I kind of run down. This is what was good, and then and then I let him know what needs to.
I'll be in next Friday tentatively. I think I'll be driving by then. And Byron Warnken will join us next Friday.
Nice. Very exciting. Very exciting.
All right.
I think that's everything.
Anything else, guys?
You said you're doing your trade deadline show Monday night.
I'm doing something Monday night,
And then we'll do another wrap on Tuesday.
Luke and I may hop on Tuesday.
Find those on all the Press Box channels, YouTube, Facebook. And
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Check them. Check them out.
Griffin, if I'm going to negotiate this with you, if I can't get Mr. Colson, could you get me on the air Monday night?
This Monday? Yeah, I think so.
Okay, like around.
Unless the Orioles trade for Tarek Skubal, then actually
No, we'll
then
probably,
sure. Then I'll just hop on with you.
What am I talking about? We'll do it like 6:15, I think.
Okay.
Be the time to do it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, keep me posted.
All right. All right. That's going to do it for me here.
All right. Thanks, Stan. Appreciate you. Keep
Luke, thank
keep improving.
you for driving in the last 2 weeks to do the Friday baseball show. We'll have you in. We'll have you in when I'm healthy.
All right, you bet.
All right.
Talk to you later,
guys
Stan.
soon.
See ya.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye.
All right. Yeah. I mean, we talked about it. Stan shows obviously as always, and I guess we'll step aside here.
We hit break.
Yes,
cool
we
deal.
will. Who are we talking to on the other side?
Ben Davis.
Davis.
Phillies color guy.
Yes.
The stars are shining brighter at Live Casino this summer. Celebrate America's 250th with $1 million. Earn entries daily July 1st through August 29th and snap a pic with our game board for a chance to win $100 in free play every week. We'll draw 50 free play winners each Saturday and $1 million winner on August 29th. Light it up at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
This is Byron Warnkin. If you've been injured in a car or truck crash, you probably know this is stressful. Medical bills, the insurance company giving you the runaround, you got to get your car fixed. You don't just need a lawyer, you need results. At Warnkin LLC, we represent the injured across Maryland. Whether it's a car or truck crash case, medical malpractice, or any other serious personal injury, we fight for maximum compensation for you and maximum ease for you. You don't want to have to deal with this stuff. Warnkin LLC has been voted best personal injury law firm in Maryland for a reason. For us, 443 Results isn't just a phone number, it's our mission. Get the advocate that you need. Call us today, 443 Results, or visit us online, warnkinlaw.com. That's WARNKENLAW.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, when you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
It's Gus Johnson, and you're listening to the baseball show with Griffin Bass. It's the NFL Charles!
What a welcome back in that was. So we will soon have Phillies color analyst Ben Davis on. And in the meantime, you can pick up the latest issue of Press Box. with Kevin Brown on the cover. And you can go to any Highs location in the area and pick this up. And speaking of color analysts, we have Phillies analyst from NBC Sports Philadelphia, Ben Davis, on the show. Ben, how we doing?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
Great, great. So the first thing that anyone paying attention to the Phillies to right now has glommed onto is this Bryce Harper and Don Mattingly thing. And my question is really, is Bryce's, like, where does this come from? Because it's a little odd, I think, to say the least.
Well, I think he just wants to win, and he wants to make sure that they have guys in here that can do that. I understand where he's coming from. It didn't come off as great. Obviously Don Mattingly was irked by it, and he spoke his mind about it, and understandably so. But I think it's just Bryce Harper wanting to win a championship. That's the one thing he really hasn't done in his career. He's a two-time MVP. There's really nothing in this game that he hasn't done. He just wants to win a World Series, and he thought he could, express that vocally. We all know Dave Dombrowski and what he's done in his career. He's going to be in Cooperstown one day, as will Bryce Harper. But Dave Dombrowski has run this race before. He knows what this ball club needs, and he's going to try and get the pieces that fit. But Bryce Harper just felt the need, I guess, to express that vocally.
Has Bryce been frustrated with the organization dating back to Dave Dombrowski's comments about him maybe not being elite anymore, or does his frustration stem back to not getting the extension that he wanted?
I think a little bit of both. I think, it probably goes back to not being able to get that extension. I mean, this contract goes up to age 39, I believe, for him. It's a lengthy contract. And, he has been healthy all this year. He's played every game this year. But, the club thought it wasn't in their best interest to do that at the time. I think he was upset by that. You sign a 13-year contract. That's an awful long time. And I think the club said, you know what, we're going to hold off on this for now and see where it goes. But I think that the comments that Dave made last year, I think, got to him a little bit as well. I mean, you don't wear a T-shirt in the batting cage and then put it out on social media and say elite. He said someone sent it to me, so I figured I'd wear it. I don't know about that. I think it was one of those things that he felt upset and threatened by it. So he wanted to make it known that he still was that elite player. But I think it's a combination of both.
Has this Philly season been as much of a roller coaster ride as it seemed from the outside?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it has. I mean, they started off 9-19. They fire their manager. They get super hot. They get 10 games over 500 after being 10 games under 500. The starting pitching was supposed to be unbelievable, and it has been. The top three guys have been they've been elite. I mean, it's if you get Sanchez, Luzardo, and Wheeler in a 3-game series, good luck. Mm-hmm. That's how good these three guys are. The offense just really hasn't caught fire. They've had a couple games where they've swung the bats extremely well, and this is a ball club that is built on slug, right? This is a ball club that's supposed to hit the ball out of the ballpark. They have not done that for the most part. They haven't done that. They've won a ton. I think they're still in the league lead in one-run wins in this season. But it has been a roller coaster. We came out of the All-Star break, and the first 8 games that the Phillies played after the All-Star break, they scored 1 run or fewer in 5 of those. That's not a team that's built on slug. This team, they're supposed to be built on slug, but that's not a team that is slugging the baseball. Aaron Nola has been up and down this year, although Aaron has pitched extremely well in his last 5 or 6 starts. The fifth spot, up until the other day, they hadn't won a game since May 18th in that 5th spot. So it's been a roller coaster to say the least.
So then, Ben, how do we kind of discuss what does an ideal trade deadline look like for the Phillies then? Is this a team that should be going all in? I mean, they're still playing under an interim manager, and obviously, as you said, have been sputtering out of the All-Star break. What is the trade? What are the next 3 days supposed to look like for the Phillies?
Well, I think you're looking at a ball club that needs, I think they need a center fielder and a right fielder. Crawford's been okay. He hasn't been great. He doesn't play against lefties. I think you need another right-handed bat, preferably in the outfield. They desperately need a fifth starter. They need 2 bullpen pieces, and probably another backup catcher. So, other than that, I think they're doing okay.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
No, I mean,
yeah.
I say that jokingly. I just think there's too many holes in this lineup. If we had someone like a Luis Ariz, and this is the part that I have, and I'm not going to get up on my soapbox and just. This is like Luis Ariz. This guy's won 3 batting titles. He's been with like 5 different ball clubs in the last 6 years, whatever it is. And these guys won three batting titles. This guy can play on my team any day of the week. I know he doesn't hit home runs. He doesn't walk. He plays a very good second base, in my opinion. He's gotten himself better. But if the Phillies had someone like Luis Ariz, knowing that if there's a man on third base with less than 2 outs, that Luis Ariz is going to get that guy in because he puts the ball in play. He gets hits. And this is a ball club that just doesn't get hits. So that's, if they could get someone like that in here, that would help out tremendously. But, that's where the game is right now. It's walk, strikeout, home run. And that's where the Phillies are at offensively.
I wonder if there's a Taylor Ward, Trevor Rogers package to be had for the Phillies. Wonder if that's something that makes sense.
Yeah, there could be. I know that his name has surfaced out here. I know Taylor Ward had a great year last year. He hasn't really been great this year, but his name has surfaced here a lot.
Yeah. So going into this year, because you can't give big free agent contracts to everyone, I thought that it was going to be key this year for the Phillies to get something out of their cheap labor, so to speak. I was looking forward to what Crawford would do. I was looking forward to what Painter would do. Now we come to Painter, who is apparently pitching today. What's been the deal with him? Because I saw him in the minor leagues prior to surgery. He was electric, and it just hasn't been the same guy since then.
Yeah, we got a knock on our door a couple years ago, and our play-by-play radio in spring training, our play-by-play on the radio, Scott Fransky, he and I were in our workroom down in spring training, and we got a knock on the door and said, hey, Painter's pitching on field 8 on the minor league complex. Do you want to go see him? Scott and I looked at each other and said, yeah, let's go look at him. So we walked over and we watched him, and he was in there facing these guys, and Scott and I didn't say one word to each other. We just kind of looked at each other in disbelief, like, oh my God, is that Nolan Ryan? Like it was that good. I mean, he was throwing fastballs by everybody. He was breaking balls. It was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the guy that the Phillies, have wanted for years to come. This is unbelievable. And then he gets hurt. And then he comes back last year and he goes to AAA and he gets hit around a lot. He comes to spring training and we saw, okay, he's okay. And then he got here and he just wasn't the same guy. I can't put my finger on it. We've asked Don Mangley about it and Caleb Cotham about it, the pitching coach. They didn't really have any answers. He doesn't seem to be getting that extension. It's like, oh my God, this guy's 6'7", but he's not getting down the hill at all. Why is that? And that's what they're trying to get him back to. We thought he was going to be the next Nolan Ryan. It was that good, what we saw, and it just hasn't been that way here. But hopefully he can get it back. I think the body type is there. I mean, it's everything you would want in a body type from a starting pitcher, from any pitcher for that matter. He just doesn't seem to be that guy. But, with Crawford, it's kind of been a disappointment. We have Aiden Miller in the minor leagues. He was a top prospect. He hasn't picked up a bat since, halfway through spring training because he's got a bad back, and he hasn't even been back to baseball-related activities. It's just not an ideal situation because the Phillies, they just have not been able to develop from within. They haven't been drafting right. They haven't been developing right. And it's something that they've made it a point to try and get better at. It just hasn't come to fruition.
So that brings us to tonight, this weekend. Are the Orioles? I mean, I know I see Christopher Sanchez and Zach Wheeler the next two days, who have been nearly unbeatable. But are the Orioles catching the Phillies at a good time right now?
I would say they are. And obviously I want the Phillies to go down there and kick the Orioles, sure. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. They very well could go out tonight and hit 4 home runs and win 12-1. That's just the way the Phillies are. That's the way they're built. Do I see that happening? Probably not, because the offense is too consistently inconsistent. But I think they are catching the Phillies at the right time. Yeah, and if you get Sanchez and Wheeler, I mean, like I said before, good luck. These guys are beyond elite. They are so stinking good. They're fun to watch. But if the Orioles can eke out a couple runs, they might have a shot because of the inconsistency of the offense right now.
Ben, how did Chris Sanchez go from being traded for Curtis Mead to one of the best, if not the best, left-hander in the game?
I think it's his desire to be great.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's his willingness to put the work in. I think it's his self-confidence. I think it's his desire to put his team in the best position to win. I think he's just built differently. When Rob Thompson was here, he spoke glowingly about Sanchi, almost looked at him like it was his own son. He said, I'm just so proud of this kid, what he's gone through, what he's been able to do for us. You talk about a roller coaster. This guy was a swingman. He was a starter in the big leagues. He was a long relief guy. He was a mop-up guy. He was sent back to AAA again, gets called back up. And ever since then, man, this guy has been just electric. He just goes out and competes. He believes in himself. He believes in every pitch that he throws, and he's a great, great kid, and no one could be happier for him than his teammates because they know what kind of person he is and how hard he works.
Ben, I'm sure you've been watching the Phillies much closer than the Orioles, but the Orioles are in such a weird spot. I feel like we're half the fan base wants them to go all in right now, half them wants to tear it all down and wants Mike Elias's head on a stick, but they're still 2 games. Then that's just how weird the American League has been. They're 3 games under 500, but they're 2 games back of a wild card spot. And there's questions of should they consider dealing Adley Rutschman now while he still has a year of control. Is this should they? It's so weird, especially with the way that how many questions surround 2027 and what that season could look like. How should Mike Elias, would you think, if you're able to put your GM hat on, how should he approach this with the they still have this in theory young core that's been underperforming to this point. How do they approach how do they find a way to
thread that needle?
Yeah, thank you, Luke.
Yeah, I think if they could find more of a veteran piece in there that could that these guys
we thought it was Pete Alonso. Yeah,
and he's been good.
Yeah,
he has been.
Yeah, I mean, if they could go find maybe another veteran piece in there that could show these guys, and Pete Alonso, that guy can play on my team any day of the week. And I think the Mets are finding out why he was such a vital piece to their offense, to their lineup this year. I think the Mets really miss him, obviously. If they can find another veteran piece in there that can show some of these younger guys, I think these younger guys, I mean, they're too good. Their pedigrees are too good to not be performing. This is in my opinion, it's a city that deserves a better product. Can they go out there? They still have a great fan base. I mean, they want the Orioles to win. It's a great ballpark. That place has stood through the test of time. I mean, this ballpark is awesome. My wife and 4 kids are actually going down there tonight to watch the game. It's our youngest, birthday, and they said, Dad, all I want to do is go to Camden Yards. I said, all right, boy, I'll get you some tickets. So they're heading down there. Of course, I got to stay back here and work, but it's a ball club that I think that deserves to win. And I don't know if they're going to be buyers or sellers, but I think if they get 1 or 2 more veteran pieces in there to kind of show these young guys, how it's done, how to win, I think it's going to help them out in the long run because you have too many good young products down there not to be performing at a higher level.
Ben, thank you for joining us. And I also want to say that when the clips from the postgame show come across my social media feed, I love them. And I love Michael Barkan. He cracks me up.
Yes, he's the best. He's the best. I will say I love my job. I wish I could work every game, but the people that we work with, the host, Michael Barkan, our play-by-play, Tom McCarthy, these guys are the best in the business, and they make it such a joy to go to work to every day. So it's a lot of fun.
I love how Barkan treats every baseball game like a football game. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's like 1 of 17. It's not 1 of 62. It's 1 of 17. Ben, thank you for having me. Excuse me. Thank you for joining the show. I messed that up. I'm sorry. But enjoy the series.
Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it. And, anytime. Thanks for having me on.
All right. You bet. And our thanks to Ben Davis. And we will hit a break here momentarily. I believe. Are we hitting a break here momentarily?
Yes,
so
we
can.
will. And
Okay,
we'll-
let's
when we come
hit a
back-
break.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk who Liam Bowen.
Yes.
Towson.
Yes.
This is Stan the Fan. You know we talk all the time about our O's stepping up in the big moments, delivering when it matters most. If you've been injured in a car accident anywhere around Baltimore, that's your big moment, and you need someone who delivers. That's why I'm here to tell you about Warnken Injury Lawyers. They fight for Baltimore families every single day. Insurance companies play games. Warnken plays to win. So call 443-RESULTS. That's 443-RESULTS, or go to warnkenlaw.com. When you need results, it's right there in the number, 443-RESULTS.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, when you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
The stars are shining brighter at Live Casino this summer. Celebrate America's 250th with $1 million. Earn entries daily July 1st through August 29th and snap a pic with our game board for a chance to win $100 in free play every week. We'll draw 50 free play winners each Saturday and $1 million winner on August 29th. Light it up at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Dave LaMonaco profiles Orioles play-by-play voice Kevin Brown, looking at his rise as an amiable mainstay and one of the top voices in all of baseball. Also inside, Antonio Barbera looks at whether the championship window is narrowing for the Ravens veteran core, and our special travel section with a look at sports tourism options throughout Maryland for you and your family to enjoy this summer. Press Box is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Hi, my name's Colton Cowser, outfitter for the Baltimore Orioles, and you're listening to Griffin Bass, Stan the Fan Charles on the Baseball Show. Let's keep it moving along.
And welcome back into the show. And with us now is new Towson baseball coach, Liam Bowen. I'm used to saying UMBC coach, Liam Bowen. Liam, how we doing?
Good. Thank you for having me. I was used to it too for 15 years and grateful for all of them, but excited about this new challenge and change, and appreciate you guys having me on.
And I will say this, Griffin Bass, my co-host today, a Towson alum.
Proud Towson alum. Proud Towson
Love
alum.
it.
Lead us to the
Go
promised
Tigers.
land, Coach. Yeah, go Tigers.
We're working on it.
So, simple question first, why Towson?
A few different reasons. Certainly the experience at UMBC was awesome. It met so many wonderful people, was treated great up and down by the staff, the administration, had a bunch of really good players that I got a chance to coach and got to stay in touch with and maintain those relationships as alums. So that was all really special. But I think it was time for a new challenge for me personally after 15 years. So I didn't get stale. our coaching staff maybe wanted a little bit of a new challenge, but also the opportunity to stay together and not move. We're all guys with families that we care about and don't want to uproot. So when the Towson became a possibility, um, it was worth investigating for those reasons. And then as I got more into the interview process with Steve Eigenbrot, the AD, and the other administrators here, it was apparent that there was a real ceiling here and something that we could really sink our teeth into. So we're excited about some of the resources that are here and some of the things that are available to us. Now we just got to make the most of them.
Coach, before you got to UMBC, I think you have a little bit of a unique background. A lot of smaller schools, and so you were able to see a lot of different kind of levels of college baseball. How did that kind of how did that kind of help you as you got to the D1 level with UMBC?
Good question, and I'm really grateful, and I try and do this for our assistants. When I was an assistant, I got a lot of responsibility even at a young age, and that's usually only possible at those smaller schools, right, where the staffs are smaller and the salaries are smaller. Honestly, guys are getting their foot in the door, and I was one of those guys, 15, 20 years ago. So really grateful to my bosses, Lou Jenkins at St. Mary's College, and then Jeff Sixeye at Lincoln Memorial University at those lower divisions, who really gave me free reign with the pitchers. And I got to make some mistakes, right? Learn from some of those and got to see what worked for me and what, the ways that I thought I could be effective with players. And just being able to build on that over the years, I think I got a really good base of kind of skill and coaching and started to feel really comfortable developing guys. And then, as I got opportunities at bigger schools and I was able to use some of those skills, I felt pretty ready for them. So grateful for my time at those smaller places for sure.
So then what did you learn in the America East, and how is America East baseball different from the CAA?
Good question. So the America East learned a ton. I mean, over 15 years at UMBC, trying to compete in a league with a bunch of good programs. We were going toe to toe every year with Binghamton and Stony Brook when they were on our league. They're in the CAA now, and so we're reunited with them as a coaching staff. Brian has a really good program. Maine and those getting to go against those guys really shapes you. Because when I took over, or I shouldn't say took over, when I took over the pitching staff at UMBC, when I became the pitching coach, the first year I was there, Stony Brook went to the College World Series, and we were a rebuilding program. We were struggling. So I found out pretty quickly, like, you have to get what you want in college baseball, you have to take it from somebody, and you have to benchmark yourself against those competitors. So the benchmark in the America East at that time was an Omaha team. So that was a pretty high bar. And I'm proud to say, we were able to chase them down and eventually win an America East championship and, do some good things in that conference. Here, we're hard at work watching the film, trying to understand the league a little bit better. We have some familiarity with it, with the geography, played some of these opponents over the years, but mostly just trying to figure out where we can gain advantages over the rest of the CA, because our goals, like everybody else, we're trying to move up the standings, and you have to take that from people. And, we're hard at work learning our team, but also learning our opponents in that way. So I might get back to you on the differences. We'll know in a little bit. I think both are really good mid-major leagues. So I think there'll be some continuity there, but we're looking forward to tangling with some of these guys.
Can't really think of a kind of a tougher situation, I guess, to step into, as obviously you're on the staff, so that helps, but going to full-time head coach, obviously amid the COVID season, and then obviously in the coming years is the rise of the transfer portal. How has it been kind of navigating this new era of college athletics and this transfer portal, and how have you tackled that kind of thing at UMBC, and how are you gonna will your approach be any different at Towson?
I think in coaching, you're always problem solving. So the nature of the problems has changed over the years, and there's less continuity on rosters, and there's more fluidity in player movement. And rather than sort of complain about that, and I know, you can hear, like, in the media, a lot of people saying, "Oh man, I wish college sports was like it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago," whatever it is. I think we just need to embrace the fact that we get to tackle some interesting challenges with some awesome people and some great resources that they put together here at Towson to help us. And whether that's the transfer portal or competing against the CAA or anything else, we're excited to do that. So when it comes to the portal, to me, it's not so much about the player movement as it is just constantly trying to have the right people in the locker room and the right people on the roster. Like that'll never change. They could be playing college baseball 1,000 years from now, and you're still trying to get the right people in your uniform. So whatever the avenues are towards that, we're interested. We're interested in recruiting the best high school players. If there's a transfer opportunity that comes up, that fits us, we're going to go after it. If there's a junior college player that maybe slips through the cracks now, that people are more focused on the portal, we're going to be involved with him. We want all of the above to try and get the best guys in black and gold.
So all the talk in college baseball has been about how the game has changed off the field. Well, we were talking to Hartford Community College coach Josh Hauser about how offense has exploded around college baseball. So my question to you is, how has the game changed recently on the field, particularly in terms of offense?
Well, I know Josh well, and I would agree with him. It's more explosive offensively. I think it's a couple, or I would say 3 things come to mind for me. Number one, the guys are a lot stronger. I played college baseball 20 years ago. The guys who are run of the mill in terms of strength now would have been the strongest guys in the lineup back then. So there's been a huge change in strength training that's really progressed, and that's affected the product on the field. I would say the proliferation of TrackMan at our level and having like a TrackMan strike zone that the umpires get graded against has shrunk the zone, and that obviously advantages the hitters. And then the last thing, and I don't think this gets talked about a ton, the equipment's different. The bats are more dialed in, and the ball is absolutely bouncier. Anybody who tells you that we're playing with the same ball that we played with in 2016, 2017, I just wouldn't agree with that. The ball gets off the bat a lot hotter than it used to, and that's not just strength and the fact that guys are getting pushed into the middle of the strike zone. Like we're playing with different equipment, so the game's different.
So if offense continues to explode in college, do you ever get to a point where everyone's like, okay, we got to start using wood bats? Does that ever happen?
So wood, it has its own challenges at the college level just because there's only so much really high quality wood to go around. And so we're already in a situation with Division I where there are some haves and have-nots.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So I think the more standardized metal bat's a good solution. I'm a pitching guy, so I'm always going to gravitate towards like a well-played, clean game where guys are filling up the strike zone, and maybe it's 4-3 or something like that. 11-10 isn't necessarily my happy place when it comes to baseball. So if they wanted to loosen up the ball a little bit, I'd be for it. But honestly, college baseball is in a really good place overall. The interest has never been bigger. The level of play has never been higher. So I might have my own little preferences, but overall, I think we're in a good spot.
What is your relationship with Coach Tyner like? Have you talked to him obviously over the last couple months since he took the job?
Sure. I've known Matt Tyner for almost 20 years. We've worked camps together, and we've been kind of on the same coaching circuit for this long. I think I met Matt when, I might have been like 25 years old. So a really good guy. He's been phenomenal in the transition. He's trying to help our staff however he can. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more from an outgoing head coach, and we certainly wish him well in his retirement. I hope he gets a bunch of time fishing and can kind of take a breath. And he's been coaching for a long time, so I'm happy for him for that. And you didn't ask about this, but this is a relationship that I really cherish. Coach Gottlieb, who was here up through the 2017 season and won over 700 games here, Mike Gottlieb. I got a chance to catch up with him the other night on the phone. He's doing well out in Arizona, watching Arizona Fall League games, and is a guy that when I was a young coach always took the time to talk baseball with me. And we've had some great conversations over the years, so it was good to reconnect with him as well. So really good relationships with the people who sat in this seat before, and very appreciative of that.
How has it been getting to know all the coaches at Towson?
Well, the whole group here has been really great, really welcoming. I think this is a really healthy and thriving athletic department from our AD Steve Eigenbrot all the way down. There's a lot of coaches here that have had a bunch of success. Uh, we have a cafeteria in the building here, so I tend to eat with some of them. I eat lunch there every day, and I've gotten a chance to just chat with them and try and learn from their experience. Um, I just think uh, we're in a really good environment here from a support standpoint, and that includes the professional relationship with some of the people coaching these other sports, and in particular having success at our school. So trying to soak up as much as we can from them, but they've been great.
Have you finished filling out your coaching staff, or are you bringing guys over from UMBC? What's your staff going to look like?
Yeah, it's all the same guys. It's the in Division One baseball, you get four on-field coaches, and it's the same four, myself included. So that's Phil Disher running the offense as our associate head coach, Brendan McGowan running the defense, and then Chris Kaler running the pitching staff. So those guys do a phenomenal job, and a big motivation for me in making this move was to keep that group together. Towson's been really supportive, putting those guys in a good position, and we get the chance to keep coaching together, which is what we want because it's been a good match.
How long does it take a first-year coach to put together his first roster?
So for us, it took about 2.5 weeks. Which was a little faster than I thought it would be. I think it speaks to the power of recruiting at Towson. Like, this is an attractive place to go to school. I just read that we had a record freshman class. There were a lot of players on the team, talented guys that we're looking forward to working with, that stayed here, which is unusual in a coaching change. A lot of times those guys will go in the transfer portal, but as I talked to the players that were on the roster, they just spoke so highly of the experience they were having off the field, how much they liked being a part of the athletic department, how much they liked each other. They just wanted to see what the leadership was going to be in the program and see what the plan was. And we've had some good conversations about that. But yeah, we added, I think it was 18 players to the roster in about 2.5 weeks. Some guys coming from UMBC or commits that we had, and some guys from junior college or the portal, kind of all the above.
So before we let you go, I got to ask you about your most recent draft pick, Luke Johnson. He's having a nice year in the Nationals org. Have you been following him?
Oh yeah, I'm always following Luke. Luke was a blast to coach. I've seen him pitch in pro ball. I saw him pitch every inning he threw in college, obviously. So it was really great to see him make that transition. I'm just really proud of what a professional he is. That's what you want when guys get the chance to play professional baseball from your program. You want them to go out and be ready to be a professional, and he absolutely is. He fills up the strike zone, he holds runners, he plays defense, he competes hard, he's ready to pitch, he's great in the clubhouse. I'm rooting for him to continue to get chances. And pro baseball is a tough racket. He's grinding away against some really good players, but I'm always proud of that guy. Like, I love coaching him, and I know the guys in the Nationals organization feel the same way.
Last one I got for you, Coach. Sounds like you're obviously baseball through and through. Is there anything you're doing? Like, what might we find you doing if you're not at the baseball field?
Well, first and foremost, just being with my family. I've got two girls, 12 and 9. My wife and I have been married for 17 years. So love spending time with them. I'm trying to ride my bike a little bit more, guys. We got the healthy cafeteria downstairs where I'm eating lunch, and now I'm trying to spend more time on the bike. I'm trying to maybe size down the uniform for the 2027 season. We'll see how I do. Maybe you could check in with me in the spring. But yeah, just trying to take care of myself and be around my family. Like, that's really it.
All right. Thanks for jumping on with us, Liam. Usually you're with Stan and me. Today it's me and Griffin. So thank you for jumping on, and let's do this again prior to the college baseball season starting in February. Yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely. I'd love to, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
All right, thanks, Liam.
Best of luck. Best of luck. Get some wins.
All right. Take care, guys.
Yeah, excited. Gotta be, right?
Yeah, it's a good coach.
Yeah. In UMBC is a smaller school than Towson, and then obviously I guess the CAA is a different landscape, so we'll see how that looks. But yeah, I have no choice. I got to be excited.
Oh, okay. You have no choice. Okay, but Liam's a great guy.
He does. That was a fun chat.
Great too.
That was a fun chat.
We doing this week in baseball now?
Let's. That's a great idea, Luke. I think we should.
Have you ever thought of taking a cruise to these wonderful destinations with sunny skies and beautiful beaches? Well, wait no longer. We're ready for you to cruise from the Cruise Maryland Terminal.
Have a little phrase that you can go from baggage to margarita in about 15 minutes.
Choose fun with an array of destinations, onboard activities, entertainment, and world-class cuisine.
Contact your travel agent and book your cruise today. Let your adventure begin.
This week
in the rest of. Oh, my bad. Ooh, what happened here? Oh, there we go. I'm good, Luke. I promise. You're making me do too much over here. That's the,
Probably.
Yeah. This week in the rest of baseball. It's a big week. I mean, the only story we've kind of touched on all the big major stories. I mean, Tarek Skubal is this week in baseball. That's
yes.
What
we're waiting on, apparently. As
you said, I think what was the report you told me in the break? I think
that a lot of teams are waiting on the Tigers' decision on Skubal, where they're going to send him, and then the rest of the trade market in terms of pitching can follow after that.
So I guess hopefully, from a fan standpoint, I don't know. I guess it's going to the weekend anyway. So
right.
It's not,
maybe the end of the day Saturday. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess if the rest of the league is being held hostage by the Tigers and Tarek Skubal, I guess they can.
You can still trade for Jake Rogers.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They are.
So,
I guess they're not
hostages.
And if they
pulled,
strong. Yeah, if they pulled Casey Mize from his start tonight, then maybe that means something.
Maybe
could be sooner than later with him.
I think the game on Wednesday was the last straw for the Tigers, and they're gonna reshape the roster.
If they had won that, I mean, would that have changed anything?
Probably.
I mean, if they won 7-0, maybe. I mean, if they're coming off a 14 and a 7-0 win,
that was a rough loss, man.
It was a rough loss. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been.
What a way to
would have been
end
just
the
as
Skubal
rough.
era.
It would have been just as rough if the Orioles had found a way to lose it as well, or if they'd stayed and lost. I mean, yeah, I guess we pretty much talked about it. I go back to our conversation with Stan if you want to hear more of our thoughts on Skubal. I guess I think Dodgers. Did you make an official?
I didn't make an official.
Where's
guess.
he going?
I'm not making an official guess.
Why? What? You're like
Milwaukee. There you go.
Okay. I don't think he's going to Milwaukee. Okay. I don't know. I just can't see him in that uniform for some reason. I could see Atlanta. I think I could see Chicago Cubs. But I think Dodgers is where it goes. There have been trades elsewhere around baseball this week, Luke.
Jake Rogers.
Yeah, Jake Rogers, of course. That's been the biggest one, I believe. He was, of course, first DFA'd and then traded for Double-A or his name.
It's like a 4A reliever.
Zane something.
Zane Barnhart.
Yes.
That's
Zane
all right.
Barnhart. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Best of luck to Zane Barnhart. But,
best of luck.
Yeah, hopefully Jake Rogers. I don't know. I mean, he can't really be worse than the Trump, Huff, Pozo. I guess Pozo had an RBI in that. He had a sac fly.
He got the run home
on Wednesday. Yeah, so maybe Pozo is the guy. But yeah.
Those Huff
earlier
at-bats
this
were
week.
depressing.
Oh my god, I couldn't. I mean, I might as well have gone off. I feel like
it's like old school NL baseball with a pitcher hitting.
Gotten a butt. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he might as well just not swing the bat and just
Seriously,
hope that the ball hope the umpire misses it,
yeah.
and the catcher is like, well, I'm not gonna waste a challenge on the catcher.
Off.
Yeah. Curtis Mead and Connolly Early, I think that was like basically the first trade, kind of this deadline season. Yep. Apparently a massive win for the Nationals already. Unfortunately, Curtis Mead had one at bat. I think he went 0 for 1. I don't know what
broke
he did.
His hand.
And then in his second at bat, he gets hit on the wrist, and everyone's making a big. He had a pad on his hand. He had a big pad on his wrist.
Pretty much the same thing that happened to Blaze Alexander.
Yeah, hit him
it's
right
brutal.
in this spot.
It's like 8 weeks.
He had no padding. I mean, he's probably done for the regular season. I mean, like it's
close to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Connolly Early, who is on the IL as well, but it was a short stint. I think he's already made a couple of rehab starts. So, I mean, if that
I think
maybe that
the
helps
Nationals
the Nationals
are hoping to get him in the rotation in like September, maybe.
Oh, really? Is that? I thought he was closer than that.
Closer? Okay.
I think he was closer. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe now I want to double check because he's on one of my fantasy teams, so I had to.
Because I think his first rehab outing is actually August 3rd.
I thought he had already made one
maybe.
with the Red Sox. So. Anyway, Connolly Early, obviously plenty of control left for Connolly Early as well. And, yeah, it might help them, pull the trigger on a I guess, okay, late August. I guess you're right. All right. We're kind of in the middle of both of us. But yeah, I mean, maybe that helps them pull the trigger on a Griffin trade. We'll see. But that was the first one, and yeah, just unfortunate for I don't know. We're Orioles fans, so I don't really feel that bad for the Red Sox. But yeah, just unfortunate that for Curtis Mead that he gets traded to a team that looks like they're about to really go all in and contend in the American League. And
Mead had been having a great year.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it earlier. He was traded for Christopher Sanchez at one point, and and now here he is having. He was. He didn't make the All-Star team, did he?
No.
Griffin was the Nats only. No,
Abrams. Well, Wood, Abrams,
oh, yeah, okay.
Griffin.
Nats are having a really good year. What should they do?
I think they will strategically sell.
Are they?
But it's not going to be. It's going to be more trades like they just made, where they're not trading Foster Griffin for 2 teenagers in the DSL. I think they're going to want guys who can help them win with Wood and Abrams.
They're at exactly 5. Wow, there are 3 teams at 55 and 55.
Yeah, if their bullpen was even a little bit better, they'd be in a different situation right now.
The Pirates, Marlins, and Nationals.
I mean, they just
all
mash.
55.
I mean, I think they've scored the most runs in the National League.
600 runs scored.
Woo!
They have the most runs scored in all of baseball.
Whew.
By kind of a wide margin here. Who did we say?
James Wood.
The Twins have 518. That leads the American League.
Whew.
The Nationals have 600 runs scored. Cubs are at 564.
Luis Garcia Jr. is having a monster year. They've got to make a decision on him. Do they want to sell high on him?
Dodgers, Brewers, Braves also up there in runs scored. Yeah, Nationals. I mean, that's kind of an exciting spot to be. I didn't mean to talk about the Nationals this much, but yeah, yeah, they're kind of an exciting. C.J. Abrams, I mean, who is he? The best shortstop in baseball?
Well, I don't know how long he's going to play shortstop.
Oh.
For me, he's probably more of a second baseman long term.
Really?
Yeah, I think they'll have to have.
Well,
that
I guess he'll be the best second baseman, right?
I think they'll have to have that discussion with him in the offseason. And if he balks at it, then you've got some decisions to make on him as well.
The Texas Rangers acquired Chase Silseth and Logan O'Hoppe. We did mention we at least alluded to that as well.
O'Hoppe at
been
one point,
terrible.
Yeah, at one
He's
point
been
looked
terrible.
like one of the next really good catchers,
Yeah.
and it's just hasn't panned out.
His baseball savant page is hilarious. It's
very blue.
It's it's ice cold. It is. He is not having a good year. Maybe he'll turn it around in Texas. But yeah, I guess that's a sign the Rangers are going for it. I mean, why not? Obviously, they're first in the AL West right now. You have to.
It's tough to be looking for catching depth this time of year. I mean, you're talking about Logan O'Hoppe and Jake Rogers, and it's
I mean,
tough.
if the Twins aren't going to sell, then Ryan Jeffers isn't available, is he? I mean.
No, Jeffers ain't going
Christian
anywhere.
Vasquez has been their catcher, right? Or he's in Houston. Who's been?
I don't know.
Okay, then I guess then I won't ask.
Okay.
They traded for Angel Arredondo,
and I don't think Colorado's going to trade Hunter Goodman. So.
Is he? I guess he's under control for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got like 30-plus home runs.
But
now, some of that's in cores.
You think the Angels only made this trade because they were getting Angel in return? Angel Arredondo?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But I do actually think that the Angels are an interesting team at this deadline. They've got an interim GM in John Mozeliak.
They're not trading. I mean, Trout's not going to get traded.
Right. And I think Mo has the license from ownership in Artie Moreno to do as he sees fit.
Orioles lost 2 out of 3 to that team in Anaheim. Pretty tough.
That's not great.
They are the worst.
Maybe
team
that
in
was
baseball.
a sign.
They are tied with the Rockies, both 42 and 67. Two worst teams in baseball. So, elsewhere, there was another. No, that was the. Oh, that's right. Last night, the Twins traded for AJ Minter from the Mets.
Didn't give up much either.
Did they give up anything? I don't think.
Two lottery tickets.
Okay, they did. I think when Passion first reported, it was just they got AJ Minter.
Right.
I didn't see the return package, but yeah, not a whole lot. All right, moving off of trade deadline talk, we've done plenty of it today. There are still games being played and some exciting games. Yesterday, Cody Clemens hit an ultimate grand slam for the Minnesota Twins.
We call that the Chris Hoyles.
Yeah, the Chris Hoyles. That was going to be one of the stats. I had the stats up here. I wanted to make sure I get them all right. Only the 15th ultimate grand slam ever. So an ultimate grand slam down by 3, and you hit a grand slam that walks it off, so you win by 1. But it's the 15th ultimate grand slam ever with 2 outs. Rarer than a perfect game.
How many?
There's 15 2-out ultimate slams.
Okay.
There's been 24 perfect games, so rarer than a perfect game. As one of the Twins beat writers points that out. Only the 34th ultimate grand slam in known MLB history, which is funny funny to say because we're just not positive. But yeah, Chris Hoyles did it in '96. David Bodie did it in 2018. Alan Trammell in 1988. But yeah, very. I guess it's
Alan Trammell.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Alan Trammell.
There you go.
Apparently a good time to be a Twins fan though right now. Although Byron Buxton right back on the IL, so that probably doesn't help things. Although he had been playing, he obviously had been unbelievable through June, and then he landed on the IL at the start of July, and they activated him. I think he might have went like 1 for 20 or something, and then he got hurt again.
So he's probably playing hurt still.
Yeah. So I don't know. For the sake of my fantasy team, I hope it's a quick recovery and he just gets back to being Byron Buxton. But he has not been Byron Buxton for the last month. Funny stuff. The Yankees collapsed against the White Sox on Wednesday night. Schlittler.
I was watching that game.
I was watching that one too. That was a fun one to watch. I guess I'm not really neutral in that sense. I wanted to see the White Sox win.
Okay.
Or I wanted to see the Yankees lose.
Oh, there you go.
Schlittler was dealing, and then
Boy, he was good.
Yeah. And then they finally got him out of the game. And what they scored? Did they score all 4 runs in the 8th? Is that how the White Sox tied
No,
it?
I think the White Sox made it 4-1 in the 7th, maybe, and then they hit 2 home runs in the 8th to tie it up at 4.
Murakami
Does that sound right?
Was it one of the Montgomerys?
And then it went into extras, and both teams went back and forth for a little bit, and yeah,
I wanted to show our crying Yankee fan, of course. Anytime you got a chance to show,
absolutely, I get it.
A crying Yankees fan, I believe we're obligated, at least here in Baltimore, to share it, right? But yeah, I was 4-4 in the 10th here. He is upset. This one was hilarious because. Is this when the catcher throws down? I mean, this was like he wasn't even covering.
Right.
Is that McMahon? I don't even know who their third baseman is. He wasn't even covering the bag. Or whoever was on third was barely. It was Murakami. Yeah, he barely had a secondary, and he threw down with 2 outs for no reason. And then the 12th they walk it off. So exciting for the White Sox that they walk it off. A walk yesterday in the finale against poor.
I was actually listening to that one
kid.
on MLB Network Radio.
Yesterday.
So I was deep in this Yankees White Sox series.
Maybe an ALDS. Well, I guess they would not be lined up to face each other, but an AL postseason
could be
a preview.
Could be.
They went 2-2.
You know who's having a terrific year for the White Sox, and has
everyone
come in. There you go. Has developed into their best starting
Austin
pitcher.
Hayes.
Sean Burke.
Yeah, you're
the
right.
Maryland
Sean Burke,
Terrapin.
Yeah, he
He's
pitched yesterday.
Great.
Wow, he is. Yeah, he pitched yesterday and held the Yankees to 1 run over. I forget.
Y'all should have him up on the show.
I want to say we always do. When do we play the White Sox again? I feel like we did.
Never.
Did we already this season. We're done.
Done with the White Sox.
Yeah,
Done.
Yeah, you're right. Which might be a good thing.
Could be.
Yeah, and then I guess just more trade deadline stuff. That's really the only thing to talk about here. The top what teams are going to be buying the hardest. You know?
We don't have anything as funny as the Sal Perez one last week. That was funny.
No, yeah, we don't have. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm bad. Maybe it was a bad. Maybe. I mean, yeah, I don't think it was a low effort on my part. I think it's just trade deadline. It's just been dominating everything, and maybe there has been fun things that. I mean, the Orioles were kind of at the center at most of the
squirrel
shenanigans of the like the squirrel.
If you were doing this segment in another town, you would
probably
lead with the squirrel.
You'd probably lead with Orioles Tigers because you'd be like squirrel Monday night. Tigers give the
Skubal.
Orioles one of their worst losses in franchise history. Skubal shoves, and then the Orioles have one of their greatest comebacks in franchise history. So just a wild series in Detroit that fortunately the Orioles took 2 out of 3. That's I guess mostly it. The Yankees are hosting a George Costanza bobblehead in August. They've done before, I think, but obviously fun. When are the Orioles going to do an Elaine?
We need an Elaine.
When are they going to do an Elaine bobblehead? That's the.
I don't know if there are any complications with that. Like, I don't know if you need like Julie Louise Dreyfus's permission to do that. I don't know.
You probably do, I would assume. But why would she be against it?
I don't know.
I don't know. She just really hates. Maybe she really actually hates the Orioles. Why would she hate the Orioles?
I don't know.
Banana Ball is still going. Obviously, Banana Ball is in town this weekend. They're in Bowie tonight and tomorrow. You should go listen to our conversation with Jackie Bradley Jr. if you haven't yet. He was really fun to talk to. And he's playing with the Indianapolis Clowns.
Did you talk to him about the Mancini home run robbery he had?
Not specifically, but we did show it as we were talking about him just being really good at center field and baseball in general. But yeah, we didn't ask about it specifically. I guess we should have. Kerry Wood, they were in Wrigley Field last week, so they brought Kerry Wood out to throw a few pitches.
I saw this. So this is cool.
Yeah, so here's Kerry Wood. Obviously, once struck out 20 batters in a game. And this is now what he's doing these days. Yeah, pretty wild there. I don't think I could do that. I don't know, maybe. So there, if you're with us on audio, he throws the ball. He it's a normal windup, and when he delivers the pitch to the plate, he throws the ball behind his back and lobs it in for, a perfect strike. While also delivering a phantom, with no ball in his hand, like a normal delivery. So I don't even know how it's very impressive. And that was this week in the rest of baseball, Luke. Nothing else. It's just
Squirrel.
trade deadline. Yeah, Squirrel, Kerry Wood, Costanza bobblehead, trade deadline.
I think the Costanza bobblehead is only for the first 18,000 or something.
Yes, that is true.
That's going to be interesting.
People are going to be lining. I think it's a Thursday too, so it's like a work day. So
yeah, you're the Yankees. You
you
can
do
afford
whatever that if you want. Yeah.
45,000 Costanza.
I think the Dodgers though.
I guess the point is to get people in.
I think when the Dodgers giveaways
early.
though, they give away like at least 30, 35, sometimes 40,000.
I think that might for some of those bobbleheads, especially the Ohtani giveaways. It might be like a legit safety issue.
I was in LA a few weeks ago. They did a One Piece anime hat. I don't know if you're familiar with One Piece. It's a very popular anime show.
I'll take your word for it.
But it's this kind of like straw hat. So they just threw a Dodger logo on it
Mm-hmm.
from the show, and they were like, it's a One Piece giveaway. It was $300 to get into the stadium for that. So we did not go to that game. It would have been really cool to get a One Piece hat. Got to be honest. But
were you out there for the Orioles series?
We were there. No, we were. I was there at the beginning of the month. I saw Ohtani's 300th career home run, which was pretty neat. Yeah, he just gets up, leads off the game.
I had a buddy who was out in the West Coast when the Orioles were playing the Dodgers and the Angels, and the games he went to, the Orioles won 12-1 in L.A., and then the next night they won 6-1 in Anaheim. And those are like the two cleanest games that they've played all year. I was like, can you follow this team around all year?
You got the undefeated. You got the best run differential of any 2-day stretch of the
18-2.
Orioles this season. Yeah. Shout out countysports.zone, of course. We are at the end of July here, and August starts. We've got high school football in August, so go to countysports.zone. Check out all of your local high school teams, every sport, every team, every county in the state of Maryland. Go to countysports.zone, find schedules, and also pick up the latest edition of Press Box, where you can find Broadneck. Big year for the softball team at Broadneck. Who wrote that one, Luke?
Greg Swatek.
And
we'll be doing high school football in this coming issue. So,
anything we missed?
Nope.
Andrew Painter for the Phillies tonight.
Brandon Young for the Orioles.
Baz. I keep saying Baz.
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 I think it's Baz.
Once he becomes a true bona fide ace, I'll call him Baz.
Cy Young upside.
Yeah, Cy Young upside. Yeah. Hopefully he has that tomorrow. He's going to need it against Christopher Sanchez.
Yeah.
Zach Wheeler versus Bradish on Sunday.
Wheeler's stuff was down his last time on the mound, so I don't know what that's going to look like.
Yeah, I feel like so he's going to be pissed off then, and he's going to come out even stronger.
Maybe.
Or he's bad. Maybe he stinks.
Probably not.
Orioles do miss Luzardo, so I guess that's a positive. The stat, I guess I should have shared it with Ben, but I think Buster only shared it this week. They are 43-16. The Phillies are 43-16 when Luzardo, Sanchez, or Wheeler start.
Yeah.
They are 14-34 in all other games.
So they either look like the best team in baseball or the worst team in baseball.
Best team in baseball history, yeah. Or the worst team ever. Yeah.
Yes.
So they only face one non-Sanchez, Wheeler, Luzardo this weekend. So we'll see how that way it goes for the Orioles. But they are 2-8 in their last 10.
It's true.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Mm-mm.
You want to thank our guests?
Yes. Stan the Fan. Ben Davis. And Liam Bowen.
Yeah.
All terrific.
Yep.
This is fun.
All right. Talk to you again soon, Luke, I guess.
Okay.
Thanks to everybody else. Tune in. Why does I find the music bed here? All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Well, you want to add one more thing at the end? How does Glenn always end his shows?
Duke sucks.
Wait a minute. It's Friday? It's time for Stan the Fan, Chief Grand Poobah Man, and the Friday Baseball Show. Griffin Bass helps bring more class to the Friday Baseball Show. They'll talk